Autumn has come to upstate New York, and we find ourselves at New Era Field in Orchard Park. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Miami.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rosen. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Let's see what you got. Slam. Run that.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And he hits Drake. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. And gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
On second down, it's Drake. Now Drake loses the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that.
And he's into the clear. Past the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
But down here near the goal line, you don't think of a cornerback in run coverage, but he made the stop.
Yeah, most of the cornerbacks we know, they want to.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tyler Kroft, his second touchdown on the season, and the Bills have taken the early lead. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that, and no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this, because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
You ready?
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On third down, Rosen. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long, pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. And now it's Rosen looking. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was looking for Parker that time. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Gore. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he's brought down after a very nice game.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Check 9.
On first down, it's Gore. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Let's set a tone. Middle. 56. Look out.
On second down, here's a run with Singletary. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Get that ball. Wait, hold.
A give. This is Chubb. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Stop. Hey, orbit.
And now they'll throw with Allen. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
A run for Nick Chubb. Broken tackle. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
That's it, baby.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Chubb. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll look to run with Singletary. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Devin Singletary with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bills will extend their lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. We haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Lee Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. No problem there on the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
From the 24, Rosen. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. He'll be saying, hey, run that one back, coach. Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again. And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
We got trips over here. Trips over here. Let's overload.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he finds Stills, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the 1st. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. It's complete to Drake. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check, boys, through. One down.
Again, it's Rosen. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Lorenzo Alexander wreaking the defensive havoc. Another try after the 1st down sack. Rosen. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20. And he's going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
The third quarter starts with a run by Singletary. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Escaping the pressure right. Allen hit. He lost the football, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. A gritty play there. Put his nose down and got his guys a first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Devon Godchaux up to make the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 39-yard line.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And this is incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
New Mike 52, Mike 52. Get in the way. Hey, wahoo.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And that's complete to Croft. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Here's Allen, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field on an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
218, chop it.
On 1st down, they'll start out with Singletary. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On the give, this is Singletary. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. Give him 18 yards on that one. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They go play action here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Wide, get wide. Slap. Pass. Kill. Middle. Hey, tight.
On third down, they go with Singletary. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby.
On first down, it's Rosen out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's brought down after a very nice game.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now this may be a free play here for Rosen. Eluding, and he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5.
I'm coming after you.
They want to go to the air again with Rosen. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Now it's Rosen. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Parker unable to get that one. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. He's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. On 1st and goal, Drake. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. To throw is Rosen. And this is caught by Allen for a Dolphins touchdown. Dwayne Allen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Here's Rosen to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bills are going to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Double dog. That's the way. Check safety. Check safety. Middle.
Singletary again. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They go right back to Singletary. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. They probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Extra point up and through, and that pushes the lead up to 23. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages, and you saw that they had most of them, and it'd take a lot to try and even it up. I just thought 2 words for this ball game: methodical and predictable, and both of them came together.
So for Buffalo, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for Miami, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.